Okay, so we have part 3 of my story. And I really love the beach, as you can see. I have a confession. I have never been to the ocean. Never been to the ocean. Um, I have been promised to be taken to the ocean. I have never been to Florida. I've already said that I have friends that live in Florida. Um, I have friends that have offered up. They have beautiful, beautiful homes in Florida. And my other confession is I am scared to fly. I have been on a little plane when I was younger, and it scared the crap out of me. And I know bigger planes are totally different, but I've never been on a big plane. I am scared to death to fly, but I have never been to the ocean. So, um, I am going to make it. Like I said, my friends in Florida, they're like, you have to come visit, you know. So I am going to make it. I'm gonna make it to Florida to go see my friends and see the beach and see the ocean because I have never seen the ocean. So I'm obsessed with the beach even and the ocean, even though I've never seen it. So, anyways, part 3 to my story. So where I left off at was the boss man, the call that we were going to meet up, and like I said, he was nasty to begin with, but then we were civil, and the police were going to be called. But then I thought, you know what? Um, no, because normally a police officer would only come out for a very short amount of time to get your stuff real quick. They had very heavy, heavy furniture. Like I said, this woodworking bullcrap. And there's just no way that, it was going to be done that quick. So, um, anyways, I went, like I said, I cut the grass with the right on. It was a pain. But then I went to the lake, one of our local lakes, and went fishing and relaxed. And I did show that little video. And I felt like, it was a productive day just getting that grass cut, getting those locks changed, getting them out. And that was, this has been going on for almost a year. That was a big, big task. So, when a friend of mine is going through a nightmare, that affects me. It does. So, anyways, we were finding more things were taken from the home. He was finding more things were missing. We were writing down the damages, what was missing, and this and that. So, I called the police, the officer that I spoke with, that came out, called him back Monday. Was it Monday? Yes, Monday. And, before we were going to meet on Tuesday. And I had some questions for him. I said, we're planning on meeting, Tuesday. And I asked him about all these items and stuff like that, and he told me, he's like, I'm not sure how they're going to go about this, if it's going to be a criminal case or if it'll be civil, because it is criminal, they stole things, but, it's the proof. Do you have any proof? Are there any cameras? No, there was no cameras. So that's going to be a hard one. So it's going to be up to the police officer, because he doesn't, it's going to be a hard one. Don't know when the police officer comes out how they're going to do this. It's not going to be him that comes out to do this report on this, okay? Because I think he's county. I think it's going to be the sheriff. I'm not sure. how it's going to work. It got too late last night after we got done with this. So tonight, when my friend gets off work, or today, he isn't going to be getting off real late, is when they're going to come out and the damage report. I mean, they already did some of it, but the itemized list of everything that was stolen, they already got all the damages of what was done to the home. But the itemized list of everything that was stolen out of the home, that's what they want. And then they're going to make the call then. But what they told me to do, before I met with the boss man, okay, was to give him a call, since me and him are the middlemen, okay? They said to give him a call and give him a list, say, okay, here's a list of the stuff that was stolen, and you could give the list to the jerk man and tell him, you know, that this is a list of the items that were stolen. And, you know, don't be petty. Don't worry about the dishes and stuff like that. Who gives a crap? We don't care about that. But like my friend's dad's flag, the important stuff, right? The major stuff. That if he's willing to bring that stuff or give it to the boss man to bring it when we are to meet up for them to get their stuff, because no matter what, we have to give them their stuff. Okay? We have to. Because like the cop told me, if we don't, then we're stealing, right? We can't hold their stuff even if they stole stuff. You can't. Even if they don't pay their rent, you cannot hold your quote tenant stuff. You have to give it to them no matter what. So anyways, he said to give him a call and just say, this is the list, and could you ask him, you know, can you give the boss man back the stuff that was stolen, no questions asked or whatever, bring it to the meet, and then the police don't have to come back out to do a report on that end, and then nothing else would be said, and that's it. And then they won't have to decide if they're going to go criminal on that, because the damages are going to be civil. It's not going to be, unfortunately, it won't be a criminal crime, or a criminal whatever. It's going to be civil. So I said, okay, I'll do that. And so I gave him a call, and a female answers. And I asked for the boss man, and she said, yeah, okay, hold on. And she let me talk to him, and he must have had me on speakerphone. And his demeanor was totally... Now, I made sure I did it in the morning, get him before he's drinking, right? And he's nice even when he's drunk. I have to give it to you. He's normally very nice. Now, he was talking to me really nasty when the jerk was there to begin with, but then he calmed down. But even when he's drunk, he's always been, you know, when I've been around him, a nice guy. But I mean, I guess when you drink for years, because he is older, so I mean, when I say older, he's older than me. I mean, he's not old. He's in his 60s. I mean, that's not old, because I'm almost at that age. So I don't want to offend anybody. Because I'm getting up there too. I mean, in my 50s. So, but he's in his 60s. So, anyways, he was very nice. Okay, and I was trying to tell him exactly what the officer told me. Okay. And he's like, well, if I see the items around here, I said, no. You don't have to look for the items, okay? Just give the list to him, and if he gives you the items, then, we don't have to do a police report on stolen items. And I said, he took, and this is one thing I didn't tell him before, I said he took, and we found out that about the burial flag, okay, the folded flag in the case. That is the most important thing. That is something that is so disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, okay? And the reason why he probably took that, he's into like the Harley Davidson stuff and the American flag. He's got a lot of that stuff. So that's probably why he took it. He didn't take it because it was, my friend wasn't really close to his father. I have to say that. He took it because of it being a flag, is why he took it. But anyways, moving on from that, I hear his wife in the background. Now, she's got cancer, okay? I think I said that before. She is screaming at the top of her lungs, calling me out by my name. Now, I've only met this woman, a handful of times. And in that handful of times, I was helping them out. Like I said, she's not my friend. All right? I barely know her. But they were in a time of need, okay? A crisis. She found out she had cancer. And they, needed food, not needed, not financially. They weren't financially hurting, but they have a daughter that is strung out. She's got all these kids by different baby daddies, and they're taking care of her kids. I don't know if I said this before. 7 of them, okay? And she's 34, and she doesn't take care of her own kids. They're taking care of her kids. So, and she lives like 2 doors down. Yeah, and she sleeps with anybody and everybody. She don't care how old they are. A lot of them are her father's friends. Yeah, she's an interesting one. But anyways, moving on from that, that's a whole different story. All these kids, and they run around the neighborhood, okay? They're constantly running around, and Grandpa's always drunk, and Grandma, and he's always screaming at them. Grandma's always screaming at them. And now Grandma has cancer, but they're literally running around the neighborhood, okay? They go from different ages. I think the youngest is like maybe 4 or 5. And yeah, it's not a good situation at all. But she starts yelling in the background, hang up on her, hang up on her. And I told him, I said, I am just trying to do what the police told me to do. And then the wife is saying, we are not going through their stuff. And I said to the boss man, I'm not asking you to go through their stuff. I don't want you to go through their stuff. I'm just telling you what the police said for me to do. And then she said, we are not doing any favors for, and she called out my friend's name. He didn't do anything for us, which he's done a lot for them, okay? A lot. Now, the jerk that they're helping out has done nothing for them. I mean, he's homeless, all right? He has no driver's license. The vehicle he's driving belongs, I said this before, belongs to his girlfriend's son that's looking for the vehicle. He wants the vehicle. I know his name. I can get a hold of him on Facebook and tell him where the vehicle's at, because he has no clue where his mom is staying at to get his vehicle back. That's why they can't get plates on it. But anyways, she is just yelling like a banshee in the background. And the boss man is trying to tell her that it wasn't my friend that said these things. It was the cop that said these things. And she's yelling, F him, about my friend, F me, called me up by my name. F the cops. I'm not getting involved. Well, you got yourself involved when you're letting them stay there, and you got your vehicle over at my friend's house. And then she said it was none of my business, but I was put in as the middleman. It's none of her husband's business, but he was put in as the middleman, right? Because these people can't work it out as adults. And he told me, I don't want my wife upset, but you know, she's screaming like a banshee, okay, just screaming. And I said, you know what, fine. I said, I will tell the policeman, the police, whatever, that I did what you told me to do, and they weren't, you know, they weren't cooperative. So, I can't do anymore. I'll do what I got to do then. He's like, okay. He goes, oh, and by the way, he goes, I can't have the police come out there because we would have to rent a police, whatever, for, you know, 3 hours or whatever. Is it still okay to come out with the police, without the police? Because it's going to take longer than, you know, longer than what they will allow. Because they'll only come out for a short period of time for you to grab your clothes or something and get out. I already knew that. I'm not stupid. And he was being very nice. I have to say, at this point in time, if he could have shut his wife's mouth up, he was being very respectful and very nice to me, okay? So I told him yes. I said, but if there's any situation, I won't hesitate to call. He's like, oh, no, there won't be. I said, all right. I said, because I just want this done and over with. So, anyways, his wife is still running her mouth in the background, you know, F her, F her. And it's like, you know, I'm thinking to myself, this is the woman that, like I said, don't know her that well, but this is the woman that I dropped whatever I was doing to go help and to make food for, and to make sure her drunk husband was at the hospital to see her when she was doing, you know, having in the hospital when she was first diagnosed. And he had a health scare on a job site, and I made sure I was there to take some vitals and to bring him back home, and then to get him to the hospital because I felt he needed to go to the hospital. So yeah, I'm this horrible person, though, for her to be cussing me out like she is. So screw her. That's all I got to say. So moving on from that. So anyways, he was very nice. Now we get to what happened at the meet, which was yesterday, last night at 6 o'clock. Now, I have a lot of my friends that were very concerned because it was just me and my friend that went over there, and they knew that I was going to be going in the house by myself with them while my friend was outside because I didn't want him involved. I did not want him to end up being, you know, going to jail or anything like that. But I told him, you know, I'll be okay. My children, they were concerned. So they ended up showing up, you know, just about 10 minutes late, no biggie. And you could definitely tell that the boss man was, you know, I already knew that he would have been, you know, drinking already. He could not back up he had a truck, and he had the trailer hooked up, and he could not back it up into the driveway. It took him several times, and I had my convertible parked on one side, and my friend had his motorcycle trailer on the other side, Now, I don't even know if I said this before or not, because I've, done 3 parts to this video, but it's kind of a long driveway, but it's a very wide driveway. My friend's truck was way over on the other side. Plenty of room, okay, to back up to the garage. I mean, 2-car garage, and in front of the garage itself, there was no vehicles, nothing blocking either bay area of the garage. The driveway is very, very wide. So he couldn't even back up. So he stopped in the way, like in the middle of the driveway. Didn't even back up all the way to the garage where he should have. I'm talking heavy furniture here. So anyways, I already knew he was going to have issues, trying to get this furniture that this guy made, and then all the extra wood that he had laying around to make furniture, because that's what he was making. And I also have to say that there was sawdust everywhere in the garage. When I mean sawdust, I'm talking piles of it. And in the house. He decided to start doing it in the house as well, because it would be too hot in the garage or in the winter, or too cold. So he just started doing his woodworking, making this stuff in the house. So and there was that dust, sawdust or whatever, all over everything. So just putting that out there. So anyways, I decided to make sure that I was videotaping what was going on, right? So when he gets out of the vehicle, the help that he had was a teenager. It was his teenage, I think he introduced him as his nephew, great nephew. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, you have an older gentleman and this teenager who, he was a tall kid, but no, that's not going to go over well with him trying to move this heavy stuff. And they did have a tow dolly, but that was it. And then out pops the female and a child. Okay. Later on, he told me he was 11. But the female, now I've talked to her on many occasions, and she would be off. Okay. She would always seem jittery and off to me. Okay. But nothing really major. I mean, I've talked to her in the past several times, many times, sat down with her and stuff, and, held conversations with her and stuff. But when she got out of the vehicle, this girl, her head is down, looking at the ground, and it's cocked sideways. She's not looking up, like looking where she's walking. It is so hard to explain, but that's how she is walking, and she's just gibberish talking, and she's acting like she is totally on something. Okay, and this is how she is walking, with her head looking at the ground. I don't know how she didn't run into anything. She doesn't bring her head up, and it's cocked to the side. And she is got the shakes. And like I said, she is totally not there. Okay? I'm sorry. I've known her for now almost a year. Like I said, I've had many conversations with her, sat down and talked with her. This is not how she normally acts. So, just putting that out there. She goes directly into the home. Doesn't say anything, goes directly into the home. I mean, she's doing a lot of mumbling and junk like that to the boss man or whatever, but she goes directly into the home. Now, I said, well, back that up. I am wrong. Hold on. Before she does that, when they come up, the first thing that I said before she goes directly into the home, I said, this is the only thing that I'm going to say, and then we don't need to talk, okay? I'm going to say that we need to make this quick because I'm going to follow it in the house because things were stolen. And then she started raising her voice and stuff, and I said, nope, stop. We're not going there. And the boss man even said, nope, this is not why we're here. We're here to get this stuff. I said, I only got two things to say. I'm going to follow. And he goes, yes, of course. I said, no, I trust you. Okay, the boss man. He's not going to take anything. I said, but things were stolen out of the home. So when she's in the home, I am going to be following and videotaping. But we are going to have to make it, pretty quick, like an hour or so, and that's about it because the home is infested with fleas. I have already got 8 up. I even showed him my leg. My legs were 8 up. And I said, and besides that, I told her, I said, your mail is sitting here, just picked up the mail. And I said, no more. There's going to be cameras installed. You do not need to be driving by here, grabbing the mail. And she goes, I already had the mail change. I had it, a change of address put in. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if that happened, you wouldn't still be getting mail here. But, sometimes there could be a delay. Who knows? And she goes, but I haven't got my mail that was supposed to be here like a day or so, like Saturday or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know. You didn't have anything, except, I think it was that we just got, it came. Whatever she said that was coming from disability, it was right there. So sometimes, because she's got a tracker, right? For the mail. And sometimes when it says it's going to be there a certain day, it might come the next day. Well, what she said that she was looking for, it was right there. Okay. It was in the mailbox. So anyways, I said, clearly you can see nobody touched your mail because here it is. All right. When we pulled up, we checked the mail and here it is. I said, but really funny that my friend hasn't been over here since this protective order, except I think the one time, I'm not sure. Like I said, there's been so much going on until the Saturday when we came over and changed the locks. And he's used to getting mail on a daily. And I said, he has no mail here. None. And I said, normally you would put it on his mail on the china cabinet that he had. I said, there's no mail there. She's like, well, it would be piled up in the mailbox. I haven't touched any mail. And it's like, really? You've been you've been here, in the last month, and you would get your mail out and you would take his and put it on the china cabinet. I said, there is no mail on the china cabinet for him. So apparently you've been doing something with his mail, throwing it away, whatever. Okay? He hasn't got any mail in the last month. So you do not need to go by the mailbox anymore. After today, here's your mail. Make sure that change of address is put in. And the neighbors are going to be watching and the cameras are going to be pointed at the mailbox and the door, whatever. You need to stay away from this residence. I said, that's all I need to say. Now we can go in. She just marches right into the house. Now, the boss man, he's like, well, let's start in the garage. So she comes back out real quick in the garage. And she's standing there. And because, like I said, I need to be in the house with her. So she's standing in the garage. And now here's this little boy. Okay. And he starts asking me questions. And he is looking around. And there's a lot of things, garbage thrown and stuff. And like I said, they knocked over my friend's toolbox. And there was a couple of big toolboxes. And then what I forgot to say is he had like a workbench that had a bunch of tools and stuff in this workbench. Had like drawers. They knocked everything off of there, and he got a lot of it back up on the workbench, but he didn't get everything, back up. So there was still a lot of stuff on the floor. So that little boy, he's like, who did this? Who made this mess all over this garage? And that little boy remembered coming over there playing pool with his grandpa. Okay? And he remembered my friend. And he's like, what happened to this pool table? He's seen all the sawdust over it and the oil spilled on it as well. So he's asking all these questions. Who made this mess? And then he goes, I know who did it. He goes, and he said my friend's name. He goes, he made this mess. He did this. He did this to this pool table. And I just said, no, hon, he did not do this. And that's all I said. And the female, okay, she said, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Now, she's not supposed to be talking to me. We're not to talk to each other, right? And I said, I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have opened my mouth. I am, videoing this, so I do have this on tape. And I said her name. I said, why would he destroy his own pool table? And why would he knock over his own toolboxes and, destroy his own stuff? That makes no sense, okay? It would make no sense for him to destroy his own home. And she screams, F you, quit effing talking to me. Now, she started talking to me first, right? She's flipping me off. Now, she's only supposed, I allowed her to come over there, and my friend. But see, I'm kind of taking over right now. He's out back. He's not involved. He's out back. He's doing some more trimming, and the neighbor came out. And the neighbor is talking to him, and the neighbor said, I will talk to you the whole time that they're here while you're, when you're not trimming, because there still needed to be a lot of trimming to do around the fence line and, such. So the neighbor's like, I will be out here the entire time that they're here, in case 911 needs to be called, whatever. So she's doing this, and I looked at the boss man. I said, you better shut her up or you guys are going to have to go. And he started yelling at her, and she is screaming at him, cussing him out. Now, he's allowing her and the jerk to stay at his home and grabbing all their stuff, and she's disrespecting him. Again, this is not the way I have seen her before. She is acting like she's off the wall. Okay? She is totally unhinged. And just the way that she's walking is like, she is definitely on something. Okay? Definitely. So she just goes in the house. This is when she barges in the house. And I told the boss man, she is not allowed to be in there. And he's like, well, can you go in there with her? I said, no, not by myself. I'm not. I said, she's on something. And he told me, he goes, no, she's not on anything illegal. She is not taking medication. She wasn't able to get medication, because she put a change of address in. So she's on, disability. She's on Medicaid and Medicare, okay, is what she's on. At least that's what she says. And since she put a change of address in, which would have just been recently, it would have had to have been, right? She's still getting mail there at the house. Since she put a change of address in, she wasn't able to, it messed with her insurance, and she wasn't able to pick up medication. That makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense. Because a lot of people move that are on disability, and it doesn't screw with their insurance. Okay? As long as they're truthful, especially being disabled, makes no sense. And I told him that. I said, it makes no sense. That makes no sense. I said, she's on stuff. I even showed him a picture of what was found in the home. I said, that's what she's on. She might tell you what she wants to tell you, but you already know that her old man was on this stuff way before he moved in. So believe what you want to believe, okay? At this point in time, he's not been in the home, just at the garage. So anyways, he's trying to go ahead and move this heavy stuff. And he's like, oh my gosh, he didn't realize how heavy it was and what he was dealing with. And him and this teenager are trying to move this stuff. She's like, I'm just trying to get my clothes. She had clothes in the kitchen. All right. Thrown on the floor. I'm just trying to get my clothes in the kitchen here. All right. Whatever. Okay. I'm kind of keeping an eye on her from the breezeway, doing some videotaping. All right. And she's just throwing stuff in the bag, this nasty flea-infested clothes, whatever, don't care. And they are having a heck of a time. It took them forever to try to get the furniture, this wood furniture that was just in the garage, to the truck. I know they scraped it up, they scratched it up. It was just horrible. They were having a heck of a time. Well, in the meantime, this child, he told me he was 11. He's seen a couple of baseballs that belonged to my friend on, they were, I don't know if they were, what they were. No big deal. He asked if he could have them. I said, yes, you can. No big deal. So he was bouncing them on the pool table and throwing them in the garage. And, I didn't see anything that really could be breakable. So I really didn't say anything. But this kid kept getting in my face. The female, apparently all this entire situation was talked to him and in front of him about what was going on. Okay? And this kid belongs to, I already talked about the boss man's daughter that has the 7 kids by all these different baby daddies, and she's not taking care of the kids, and she's strung out. And grandpa and grandma are taking care of these kids. Yes, this is one of them from the daughter, okay? So he keeps getting in my face and saying, you guys did this to this house. And I keep telling him, no, honey, I don't live here. I have my own house. And he kept saying, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I believe, and he says her name. I believe them. This is your junk. You did this. And then he would run into the house. Now, at this point in time, the female goes into the bedroom that she was in. And I keep saying she's not allowed in there. But you know what? I just want them out. And there's really not much downstairs that was worth anything. I mean, if they wanted to take anything downstairs, have at it. Because, like I said, the stuff that was worth anything is upstairs. And they've already stole stuff. So, whatever. I was not going to go in there, and I can't tell you how many times before this she was told to get out of the house, stay out unless, I am in there. And I was not, after that first confrontation, I already knew she was on something. I was not going to follow her in there unless Boss Man was in there as well. But he's trying to get the furniture out. She would not wait. She was trying to get some garbage out of the bedroom so that he didn't see how bad or, how they were living. Okay? Even though you could tell from the rest of the house too that it was just horrible. I mean, you could tell from the garage how horrible it was. But the little boy was in there, and she was asking him to get underneath the bed and pull out a bunch of envelopes and paperwork and stuff out underneath the bed that she couldn't get down there and get it herself. So he's going back and forth, and like I said, at this point in time, I just don't care. I just want them to get their stuff and go, because it's taken some time to get this furniture. So, and I already said, and I know I'm repeating myself, I've already said that he has told her to get out of the house. He has screamed at her, yelled at her, and nothing is phasing her, okay? She's on a mission. She's not listening. And I should have called the cops. I could have, but he's being really mellow, very nice. I just want this to be done. I want them to get their stuff and get out. So this little boy is running back and forth from inside out, coming back out, and I'm staying in the garage pretty much. And he keeps getting in my face again and again and again. I did go out to the backyard, kind of updating my friend on what's going on. The kid would follow me back out there. Well, you did this and you did that, and you made the mess in their bedroom. That's your mess. You put all that garbage in there because she told me that you did. She told me that you live like a pig. I had enough. I had enough. Okay? This snot-nosed little kid. I mean, he also was telling me, he's like, I'm 11 and I hate school. He said, it effing is hell. Okay? This kid, he's not being raised right. Even, being with the grandparents. And I don't know how many times I told him that, this is adult situation that should never be talked in front of him, and I'm not going to discuss it with him, because he kept asking over and over, why we would make the mess. And I told him, we didn't. I don't live there. I even at one point said my friend hasn't lived there. That, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm doing basically the same thing she's doing. I'm discussing adult situation with this child. And I got to stop, because he shouldn't be brought into it, even though they're doing it. And even though he's in my face saying all this stuff, I'm no better. So I told him, I said, I'm not going to discuss this with you anymore. You're a child. And I told him, I said, just go back in there. He's like, well, I like her. I said, that's fine. That's fine that you like her. You go back in there with her. So he keeps doing this, okay? In my opinion, I think she keeps sending him out and telling him to follow me around and to do this, because this is what he's doing. All right? So, he tells me, he comes back out and he tells me, well, you gave me these balls. You can't take them back now. And, just stupid stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not going to take the balls back from you. I was trying to be very nice to him. I was. And it was just insane. So, they move on, and they go to, they finally get the furniture, the crap out of the garage, and then they go to the breezeway, and he sees, because I told him before where the water thing is, because the big deal was about not having water. Now, the little boy even said, well, you left them without a water and electricity. And when he said that, the female came out, and I did say this. I did say it. And I shouldn't have, because again, I'm addressing a child. But she came out, and that's why I wanted to say it, and I didn't want her to hear, or I'm sorry, I didn't want to talk to her. I said, yes, there was an issue with the water. I said, but there is electricity. And he goes, no, there's not. No, there's not. You left him without electricity. I said, hon, look up. He looked up. I said, what do you see? And he goes, a light? I said, uh-huh. I said, there was always electricity. I said, he goes, well, that's not what they said. They said there was no electricity. And the girlfriend at that point is standing there acting like she's going through something. And I said, there was always electricity. I said, the breaker, I said, I don't know if you know what that is. It trips. I said, it tripped and they just didn't go check it. And she jerked her head and looked at me. And I just smirked at her. And then she went and scurried off back into the home. So, anyways, at that point, she probably, because she knows that her old man is lazy and won't do anything. At that point, she knew that he didn't even go check. He didn't even go check to see if, so she lived for a couple of weeks with no electricity because her old man is lazy and didn't even check. But anyways, when they got to the breezeway, the boss man seen at that time that I was absolutely telling him the truth. There was a couple of big, heavy pieces in front of, I was telling you about that water where the bladder tank thingy majig. I know nothing about all this stuff. Where you would have to get to be able to check that. There was two big, one was another big dresser that had a mirror that he made, okay, out of solid wood from trees. And he puts like a lacquer finish thing on it or whatever. And then he made like a safe. It had, it was big and it had like a Harley design on it. And it had like a lock on it. Those were up against it. And him and his great nephew were trying to move it. They couldn't move it. Now, how this jerk got it there in the breezeway, I'm sure, because they've had people coming in and out of the home. I'm sure that they had people to help move this thing. They couldn't move it. They had the tow dolly. They could not move it at all. And at this point in time, the boss man, he was so mad. He's like, I can't move this. And I told him at that time, I said, that's where the water thing is. And that's why my friend couldn't get to the water to check anything. And they refused to help him move that to look. And it's still sitting right there. Now, see why there's no water in this home? And he's like, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. I said, absolutely not. I told you were going to see when you came over. I said, and this is just the start. And I said, you want to go off on me and, my friend who was your friend, just because he wouldn't go back to work for you and, you didn't want to believe the situation. And, he's smelling the stench too from there not being any water and from them, going in the toilet and going in the tub. I said, this is why it couldn't be checked out, plus the threats on top of that. I said, it's still sitting there and you can't even move it and your nephew can't move it. So at that point in time, the girlfriend, she called out somebody else to help because the boss man is like, we need help. We need help getting this and the rest of the stuff. There was only a few more heavy items in the home besides all the clothing and junk. And I'm thinking to myself, where did they come up? Because they didn't have that much besides all this heavy wood stuff that he was making over the last year and that he brought from that barn. But they didn't have that many, clothing items or that much stuff when they first moved in. So they collected a lot over, over the year when it came to clothing and junk. Not cooking utensils or anything. They already took out 2 trailer loads. Small, not really big trailers, but they already took out 2 loads from what the neighbors said. So I don't know where they came up with all this stuff in the last year. But anyways. So the help that came out, someone did come out. She is in the bedroom and, you know, doing her thing. And at this point in time, like I said, I made the decision that I am, you know, I don't care. If she takes something else, she takes something. But I really believe in my heart it was more of her boyfriend that was taking things than her. Because it was more of a man's, you know, like flag, coins. I was thinking, you know, she was more, she was spaced out. She really was. So I think I really didn't care. It was like, take it. You know, all the furniture, all that stuff is getting, you know, putting in the dumpster. Um, Downstairs, there's really not much left. Okay. So I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm not going to keep saying, you know, she's got to be out of the house. She's, you know, I'm just not going to go there anymore. I'm fed up. So I just want them gone. So anyways, they did call for a backup help. And this person that showed up just happened to be someone that used to come out to the home and would play pool with my friend. He was a friend of the boss man's. He was more of a friend of his. I think he's a relative, if I'm not mistaken. But he would come out to the house before these squatters moved in. So he knew exactly, you know, what the house looked like before they moved in. And he also has came out to the house after the squatters moved in. But he hasn't came out like in about 4 months, 4 or 5 months. He came out a few times to get tattoos because her boyfriend would do tattoos. Yeah, like you would want tattoos done by someone that's not with it in the head. But he would do tattoos on people in this home. He had a tattoo kit and stuff. That's another thing that I don't know even know if I said it. He would do tattoos, and behind the couch, for some reason they threw the you know, when they wipe the tattoos down behind the couch and like on the floor, all over the floor, there was the bloody and the ink tattoo rags and stuff. But he came out and got some tattoo work done. So he's seen the house then. But anyways, he came out and he helped in the breezeway to get those big items. And it was hard for him. But anyways, they got it. And then he was going to help. They had a wood headboard that the jerk made that was in her room. And a few like nightstands and then just her junk. Oh, there was a safe and a smaller dresser or whatever that was in her room. So, and they needed his truck for more room. Okay. So, anyways, he showed up and they got the heavy stuff, and as they were carrying that out, that was in the breezeway. They were carrying that out and they were loading that up in the truck. And I was at that time I stopped video recording. It's like, you know, I'm not going to keep taping. You know, I got her screeching at me or whatever. I already videotaped, got enough pictures, got enough evidence if we need it. I stopped at that point, and this kid kept getting in, and I don't know if she told him to or not. He kept getting in my face and getting in the recording. I'm not going to videotape a child, so I had to keep, you know, maneuvering my phone so that I'm not getting a minor in my recording. But he kept jumping in front of my phone. You know, I kept trying to get the boss man to say, hey, you need to get control of your kid, but he's trying to get the furniture out as well, you know. So anyways, I just decided to stop recording at that time. And I have my good friend, she kept trying to call me because it's taken a long time. And you know, sent her a text and I said, we're still here. And she's like, don't keep me hanging, I'm worried. I said, it's fine. I'm fine. I'll give you a call here in a few. So, anyways, I'm in the breezeway now, just kind of keeping an eye on things or whatever, the best I can. They're taking the stuff out. She comes, I decided, my daughter, she knew what was going on. My daughter FaceTimed me. So I'm talking to my daughter. We are not talking about the situation at all. We are talking about my son, my youngest son, had to go to the dentist, and she was telling me, how that went and stuff. So we were talking about nothing that was going on, because I told her we would talk about it afterwards. My daughter has no filter, okay, at all. And we're going to get to that in a minute. My daughter's mouth, when it comes to her family, has absolutely no filter. So we're talking about, my son, my youngest, and he is an adult, but like I said, he has health issues and stuff like that. So his mouth was a little sore. So she was like, he had a root canal done. So she was telling me how the dentist appointment went. And as I was video chatting her, all of a sudden this female comes out of the room and she is screaming at me. And she is yelling, "Where the F is my lanterns?" I'm like, huh? What? Where's my lanterns? I'm like, how should I know? I don't live here. And she's like, you need to go out there and get, and she said my friend's name, you need to tell him to get his ass in here right now. I said, no, ma'am. I said, he's not coming in here. He's not speaking to you. She goes, I need my lanterns. Now, her lanterns, they're like the Dollar General lanterns, I'm guessing. She did say that her uncle gave her a lantern or whatever. She goes, I have pictures of my lanterns, and I want my lanterns. Now, she's not saying that nice. She's F-bombing, okay, screaming. And she pushes by me. Now, my daughter is seeing this as we're FaceTiming, and she is like, and I am going to do some cussing here. My daughter's like, that bitch better control her mouth. She goes, if I have to make a trip there. And she pushes by me and goes out in the garage. And up above, like by the rafters or whatever, there's lanterns hanging there. Now, my friend, he had lanterns that he had up there. He's always had them up there. I know no difference on whose is what or whatever, but I always knew that he had lanterns up there. So she goes, oh, there they are. That's where I put them. And she's just starting to grab the stuff. And the boss man is like, what is going on? And I told him, I said, she has got to go right now. You guys got to leave. This is done. He's like, what is going on? Why are you yelling? And he's yelling at her. And she's like, I'm trying to get my effing lanterns. And when she's reaching, the one that her uncle gave her falls and it breaks because she's shaking, she's jerking, she's trying to reach for these. Here they are. And I said, yeah, you just accused me or my friend of taking your lanterns, but you're so messed up in the head, you didn't remember where you put them. And, we're not thieves. You are. So I shouldn't have said that because I'm not, I shouldn't have been talking to her. And she is screeching and everything. Well, come to find out, those lanterns weren't even hers. They were my friend's. And I did look at pictures. I said I was a picture taker. I have pictures long before they moved in where I said before, my girlfriends and I, we would go over there sometimes and play pool. And there was one time we went over there and we were in the garage playing pool. And I was taking pictures, and I happened to have a snapshot of those lanterns yeah. that she took. But anyways, no big deal. It's not like they were worth anything. But it was just the fact that of, her throwing this hissy fit. And I did tell her, though, I said, how dare you throw a fit over lanterns after all the crap that you guys stole? Really? So, anyways, she's still going on and on. Well, at this time, the gentleman that came to help, they're in the room. I just told the boss man, she does it one more time. She explodes one more time. She talks to me one more time. You guys are all going. I will call the cops, and that's it. He has yelled at her, I can't tell you how many times. She has yelled back at him, cussing him out. So, it is what it is. So, they go, I'll get back to the gentleman that came in to help. The boss man goes into the living room, and he's like, oh my gosh, the stench. The fleas are already biting. Okay, he did have shorts on. His help had his nephew, great nephew, whatever, had shorts on, and the child had shorts on, and so did the female. The stench was bad. There was also another big dresser thing in the living room. I forgot about that, and I know I'm just going on and on, but the smell was horrible. But the guy that came to help, after they got done with the breezeway stuff, they went into the bedroom to get the rest of the stuff. And he went in there and he got the headboard and he helped with the big piece that was in the living room. And for some reason I'm trying to think, we went back outside. She's still getting garbage or whatever. This kid is back in my face again. Okay, he gets back in my face. Like I said, this was the last time. I had my daughter on the phone. She's FaceTiming, still on the phone with me, and this kid is back in my face, and I told. He said again. He goes, the mess in that room. He goes, you guys all did that. You guys did it. And again, you lived like pigs. She said it. I believe her. He's doing it again. Okay. At this point in time, everybody that was there to help has been in that room because they got some pieces out of that room, the headboard, the nightstands, and stuff like that. And so she came out, and at this point in time, she's dragging out some bags of clothes or whatever to throw in, I think, the gentleman that came to help's truck. So we're all standing outside now. I have my daughter on the phone, still FaceTiming her. And I told the boss man, I said, I am done with this entire situation. I am done with your grandson. He told me he was 11. I said, disrespecting me, getting in my face, because he was brought into, a situation he shouldn't be in. He's a child. You need to get him out of my face. I said, he's being very disrespectful. And at that time, my daughter said, because my daughter had 2 children of hers in the corner. 2 of them in the corner. And she's like, I don't know who's and she said it very loud, I don't know who's parenting that child. She's like, but for any child to talk to an adult like that, she goes, I have 2 in the corner right now. She goes, but that child needs his ass beat. Seriously. She goes, now, I don't have to do that to my children because they know that, I can put them in timeout and it works. She goes, but that child needs his ass beat because if my kid's ever disrespected an adult like that kid is doing, well, they know better because I know how to be a parent. So anyway, she's running her mouth on my phone, okay? And then she said something. She's like, if anybody there messes with my mom, and I know this was kind of a threat. Well, she kind of said it, I think she took it as a threat because the boss man, who was being very nice, I have to give you that, he did make a comment about having a Beretta. or something. I don't know. We had a discussion before about gun laws and stuff like that. Just a quick little thing, just as he was moving or whatever. And he made a comment that she heard of, he goes, yeah, he goes, mine's a Beretta or something like that. And I think my daughter took it the wrong way. And she's like, we are all of her children are locked and loaded. And she goes, if anybody messes with my mom there, she goes, we will be making a trip. And she goes, she did make a threat. She did. She goes, and they won't find y'all because we'll feed you to our pigs. So anyway, she's kind of going nuts on them. And I told her, I said, calm down. I said, these ones here, they're all nice. Okay, they're being respectful. It's her. It's her that is losing her cookies because she's under the influence. And at this point, we're all out there in the driveway, okay? I said, she is on something. She can't control herself. So I said, it's almost done and over. They almost got everything. And then this crap is done. So anyways, like I said, my daughter does not have a filter. And she seen the house, what it looked like. My daughter was, and my sons came down for Christmas, and they seen the place, and they seen, not this Christmas, I think it was last Christmas, they came down. I can't even remember now. I'm scrambled. This has just been a mess. But anyways, they've been over there. They seen, they played pool. So they have seen what the home looks like. I don't even remember what year it was when they came down. It was at Christmas time, and anyways, I don't know. I'm getting all jumbled here. So anyways, they've been over there and they seen what the home looked like and how nice it was. So I showed her, and she was disgusted. And she's like, right in front of the female, she's like, they're pigs. They destroyed the house. But anyways, the gentleman that was helping them, that the female called to come help, this is exactly what he said. He said, I'm leaving. And the female's like, oh, you can't. I got more stuff to put in your truck. He goes, no more of your stuff is going in my truck. I'm leaving now. He did have a female in the truck with him, and she just stayed in the truck. She never got out. And he's like, no more of your stuff is going in my truck. I will take it over to the boss man's. I'm going to drop it off in the driveway. He goes, I have been over here many times with, and he said my friend's name, shooting pool with him, having a few beers, way before you guys moved in. He goes, I have been over here getting a tattoo done, by and he mentioned her boyfriend's name. And he goes, this house was not like this. And, this was, about maybe, I don't know when he said. He said, you guys absolutely destroyed his home. You destroyed his home. And in my opinion, you did it on purpose because you knew you were going to have to move out. He goes, you are pigs. He goes, and I already know because you can say what you want, but your boyfriend told me that he stopped paying because he knew that he was going to have to be leaving here in the spring. And he did it for a reason. He goes, you guys do this to people. You don't get your own place. You live off of people. He goes, I'm done. He goes, you destroyed this man's house. And he said my friend's name. He goes, he's a very clean person. And he looked at the boss man and he goes, and you know it too. You know it. And the boss man goes, yeah, I know. He goes, I've been in this house many, many times. And this is disgusting. He goes, and he told the female, he goes, let's go. We have no more room in the trailer. We have no more room. We're leaving now. Whatever's left here is left. I'm not getting no more stuff. So the other guy got in his truck and he took off. He was done. And she went back in the house and she's like, I'm not leaving. I will walk. I'm getting the rest of my stuff. And it was just clothes that she was getting. The rest of the big stuff, you know, was gone. And she's dragging clothes out and stuff. And he's like, you are not staying. And I told her, and I did open up, and I said, hun, you're getting out of the house. You're getting out. She had most of her clothes. Like I said, flea infested stuff. Because I told him, I said, if you leave, she's going. She's not staying here. So, anyways, she gets, you know, almost all the, you know, the clothes. She did leave some bags there. They left some stuff there, but all in all, he had to tell her over and over again, even after she got what she wanted, she just did not want to leave the home. I mean, it's like, come on, get out already. You know, the place is disgusting, okay? We're not going back in it until it's professionally bombed, all right? And, you know, a lot of work needs to be done in the home. So, anyways, she gets in the truck, and finally he gets her out. And like I said, she is messed up on something majorly. And he looked at me and he shook my hand and he's like, I'm sorry, this did not go the way I wanted it to. He goes, I am sorry for everything. And I told him, I said, I'm not the one you should apologize to. You really should apologize to your friend that you've been friends for years. And I don't know what you told your wife, but, you know, maybe you should tell her the truth. But that's who you should apologize to. I don't need an apology. I said, but as you can see, everything that we told you was the absolute truth. You've been inside the home now. You've seen what they've done. Okay? That's what they did to his home. How would you feel if they do this to yours? I said, now they're your problem. Now they're your residents, you know, or tenants or whatever, I said to him. And he's like, no. At first he said, I hope you got before pictures and after. I said, of course. I said, of course I did. I'm not stupid. And he said, July 4th. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, July 4th, if they're not out July 4th, all of their stuff's going to be sitting on the street. So we will see. That is my story. They left. It was interesting. We were there for almost 3 hours, okay? I was only going to give them an hour, but it lasted 3 hours. It was horrible. My legs got bit up. I was tired. We will see. We will see what happens with him. I don't know. I don't know if he will contact me again. I'm going to be kind of curious. I know what vehicle they drive. He, the boss man, does not live far from me. I might, my friend, she's like, we should take my car and after the 4th, see if their vehicle is still there. Because once they're in, if they made a change of address to his home, they have established residency, right? So, we're just kind of curious because I do need to know kind of where they're at, because we're going to go ahead, well, my friend is, and do a civil suit against them, even though, you know, he's not going to get anything from them. He's still going to do that. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm going to go. I know I drug this out. The moral of the story is be careful on who you allow in your home, even if they're friends. You never know, you know, what they're going to do. And if you do, get it in writing. Absolutely get it in writing. And it's not as easy as giving them a 30-day notice and getting them out of your home. This is what can happen. But also don't let it discourage you from helping others. I mean, a lot of people aren't like this. A lot of people really need the help, and they're not going to do you wrong. I have had good experience of opening my home up, and I didn't have to deal with this. But again, just awareness that it can absolutely go sour, and it can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. So anyways, we will catch you again. I just wanted to kind of break up from the drama going on in this circle, kind of share what I've been going through, what my friends going through, and just bring a little awareness about opening your home up, if you do, and maybe really, like I said, get everything in writing. Take before pictures. I mean, you got to do that. If you open up your home, make sure you do that before pictures, just in case. It's sad that you have to think that way, especially if it's friends or family, but you have to protect yourself. You can still help the ones you love, but make sure you protect yourself too. Everyone have a good one, and we'll catch you again.